So we are here to have a very quick chat post much anticipated budget. So myself, Sarah Palmer, Sales and Distribution Director at Gen H. We've got Paddy Doyle, Intermediary Sales Lead at Gen H, and we are very honoured that Monty has agreed to join us to give us that, broker view. What's the mood out there? So thank you so much, Monty, for giving us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, we could have had loads of questions based on what the budget did. I think we've established that probably not a huge amount, really, that helps homeowners. But anyway, let's see how we do on just firstly, any big surprises from your point of view.
I think the surprise was there were no surprises. And the biggest surprise was that the whole thing was leaked by the OBR before the budget. So that was extraordinary. But that aside, there were no real surprises. I think the sort of standout things were the so-called mansion tax.
Yeah.
That for properties above 2 million, an extra £2,500 a year, and £7,500 for homes over 5 million, which I think most people are pretty okay with. I think the disappointing thing was separate higher tax rates for property income. So landlords have been bashed a lot, and this isn't going to help them at all. So I think that was a bit of a frustration, but there were nothing really in terms of big ticket goodies for home buyers. So no reform of stamp duty or any additional schemes. There is something interesting, which I do really like, which is a consultation on a new, simpler ISA to support first-time buyers, maybe replacing the lifetime ISA. So I think that is a promising thing, but I think that's about it. There was no big white rabbit.
The Chancellor committed to planning reform. What will be the short and long-term effects of this? Does that go far enough?
Yeah, I mean, where planning reform is concerned, the devil is always in the detail, and how it actually is rolled out. There are lots of people who say, look, they're moving in the right direction. It's good we're actually talking about this, but there are lots of others who say it's just not far enough. And we're still seeing construction starts not really getting anywhere. Certainly as we talk at the moment, they're nowhere near their target of being able to build 1.5 million homes, which we always knew would be back-end loaded of the Parliament. But it still seems that they've got a hell of a long way to go in terms of actually unlocking planning. And then you've got idiots like me who are like the NIMBYs, who every time there's a planning proposal sign another petition against it. and we don't help. So that
I was just about to say that doesn't help, Monty.
No, it doesn't help at all. So I think I'm okay with the latest one. So
obviously with a Gen H sort of lens on things, we're really committed to getting more and more people into homes, and so there's a real focus on home buyers, particularly first time buyers for us. What's the one thing that buyers should be looking out for from this budget that might help them or might hinder them? And I suppose you can lead on to where brokers are going to be most helpful.
I think there isn't really anything there that's going to fundamentally change the prospects for first-time buyers. Maybe this first-time buyer ISA will help people save easier. Otherwise, in terms of a hindrance, the additional tax on landlords' income, isn't that just going to put rents up even further? So first-time buyers will be even more desperate to get onto the housing ladder. So there's nothing there that really helps. Maybe that's going to be the focus of something else, and actually maybe next year we'll sort of see something in terms of a bit more on housing, maybe a call at looking into stamp duty reform, etc. But this one, I think the Chancellor was looking at, I just need to get through it.
Yeah,
maybe. I think there was my bit of that. I was talking to someone recently. I said, there's one job I wouldn't do, and that's be Chancellor. It is such a tough role, and actually I think she probably deserves more credit than she gets, because the markets clearly feel quite comfortable with her. But
Yeah.
whether she's actually doing enough or the right thing, I guess, depends on your political point of view.
Yeah, and no chance it can ever please everybody. There's always going to be, differences dependent on where you sit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was disappointed today that there wasn't more in terms of housing help and assistance, but maybe
I think you agree.
maybe there'll be some more detail that comes out over the next couple of days.
I mean, that just maybe highlights that question about where what will they be looking for from brokers, and I guess for us that just really labels that point of looking broader than your high street lender and what other options are available, because as you say, with landlords potentially having to put rents up even more because they've potentially been stung again, then we do still need that option of getting people out of
100%
and into home ownership. And this is where we have some great propositions and innovations that look at ways that we can help that happen, and actually getting people into home ownership younger. Our average age on our income booster product is 28. I mean, that's absolutely brilliant, and they start building their wealth earlier, and that's what we want to see. So definitely it's about understanding that there are options out there. We are disappointed there wasn't more broader help, but there is still help for first-time buyers, and we're definitely on board with doing that.
I think you both hit the nail on the head there. It was disappointing not to see more things come out of the budget to help more people onto the property ladder for the first time. But that does mean that it's now up to lenders like ourselves to come up with innovative ideas, things like joint borrower, sole proprietor, or the income booster, and doing things like interest only up to 95%, just to add incremental homeowners to the market. And then it's up to advisors really to make sure that actually those clients are supported with those sort of stepping stone products to get more people into homes. And that's really where we can work collaboratively, which is exciting.
Yeah, I agree. And I think somewhere the government has helped and could maybe do a bit more is allow lenders to be more innovative like yourselves and help to, we've seen quite a lot more innovation over the past 6, 7, 8 months, which is great, and hopefully that will continue.
There's definitely been some movements, haven't there? Absolutely, with affordability and stress rates and LTIs, there's been absolute movement. But you're right.
That's made a bit of a difference.
That's made a huge difference. But you are right. I think there's a lot more that they definitely could support and they could do to help lenders lend more money, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to put people into homes, and that's our wish. So less constraints definitely would be welcomed across the lending community, I think. Well, I wish we'd had more that we could talk about, but there isn't a huge amount out of that. But I think what we've touched on hopefully is helpful. Really appreciate your thoughts on it. Thank you for giving us that time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Monty. Appreciate it.